Hey, hi guys. Um, okay. So, let me just make sure I'm doing it right here. I'm trying to connect on Instagram quickly. Not sure if I was doing it correctly. Oh yeah, I think it's fine. So welcome guys. It's a what? It's a Monday today. I hope you're having a lovely week. I thought let me do this live quicker in the day because number one, I don't know when I'm going to have load shedding. I haven't checked the schedule. I'm in Cape Town this week, so I wasn't sure when it's gonna be the load shedding, and I've been not doing our live meetings, and yeah, so I thought let me get it done before anything goes wrong in terms of when is the load shedding here in Cape Town. So hi, Instagram. Okay, now I think it's good. And please let me know if you can hear me because I was not sure about the sound. Okay, so I'm totally exhausted. I had a flight this morning, but then my day is going so well. I hope you guys are having a lovely Monday. I'm going hiking this afternoon. I'm looking forward to that. So, um, I've been wanting us to talk about this topic of asking. And actually, it's one of the topics that I wanted to talk about during the new moon that happened somewhere last week. But because it's such an important topic, we should definitely talk about it a little bit more. So now, please make sure that you do your what is this? The liking and the subscribing, because you will be able to get these talks if I do them in times where, like, normally we do them at 6. So if I do them earlier, you'll be able to be notified when they come through. So it makes just life easy for all of us. Oh, happy. Load shedding is at 6. Oh, okay. So I've got like, it's 3 now. So keep on load shedding today. It comes by right me. It's at 6. So at least I'm not gonna like run out of network in the middle of this talk. Okay, so the Bible says, ask and it shall be given. Now, you guys probably have heard me talk about this asking. And it's one of the most important things that God wants us to do is ask. But then you find that sometimes we ask, God gives us. We ask maybe for a house and a car, God gives us. But then now we sort of feel like if we ask for a promotion and an amazing relationship and this, we'll be asking too much. No, it's not true. You can ask as many times as you want. You can ask every day. You can ask for whatever you want. Okay. Now, the problem is this: a lot of people ask, but number one, they're not asking the correct way. I've done a few videos on this, but I also have a whole entire course on called Aligning to You, where we have you are able to connect with your angels and ask from your angels and work with your angels in this thing of asking. So there could be a wrong way of asking, but today I don't want us to talk about how do we ask. I want us to talk about how many times do we ask. The process of, do I ask once and I wait until it comes? Do I ask every day? Because a lot of times I'm getting these inboxes around. We see when I'm doing my manifestation, how much should I do? How is more? How is less? How is too much? How is not doing enough? So that's what I want us to talk about. So now you have your needs. These needs are not something special like a wow factor to God. No. You have these needs because God gave them to you. So, first things first, you cannot be guilty of asking things that you want. So, other people will be like, oh, I've already asked for BMW. I can't ask for another what, and what, and what. No, man, you do not have a limit on asking. Let's just say that it's unlimited supply. Now, the problem is that you think that, probably some of you have heard me saying that there's no need for you to tighten your belt. Like, let me tighten my belt. Let me not want too much. Let me live beyond my means. I'm not saying go out there and do crazy things. I'm saying when God says you must have this, it's because God knows how He's going to provide this for you. The only thing you have to do when is to accept that now it's time God says you must get a bigger house. Now it's time God says you must get a bigger job. Now it's time, and then act on that, and then ask that thing that God is giving you. Okay, so now there is no limit. You can ask for the best husband or the best wife, and you can ask for the amazing children. You can ask for everything you need. God does not have limits on these things. Okay, now now that we are clear on you can ask for anything anytime. Even if God gives you today something, tomorrow you wake up in the morning and you ask for more. It's not that God ever gets tired of you, because it's God that gives you the desire. You will not desire. There are things that you desire today that you were not desiring 5 years from back. You were not desiring 10 years from today. You just didn't even think they exist. You didn't even know they were in the planet. Now you know, and now you want them. But you didn't know back then, and these things were already here. They were always here, but you didn't ask them because it wasn't time. So the moment you have the desire, it doesn't matter what desire it is. God has now saying to you, the moment you have the desire, God is saying, now it's time to get it. So it doesn't matter what it is. Don't ever think like, oh no, I am asking too much. This is way too much. Let me just like cool down. No, there's no cooling down period in any way when it comes to these things. Because the reason you are asking is because God is saying the door is now open. But most of the people say, oh no, Lord, my bank account doesn't afford this. Oh no, my education does not allow this. Oh no, my upbringing doesn't allow this. Oh no, all the stuff. I don't have, I'm too old, I'm too young. And then you closing the door on what God says is already available to you. So don't do that. Okay. Now, number 2, how many times should you ask? So the process of asking, we do the asking in prayer. Okay, so all of us know what prayer is. I mean, of course, we can do it wrong or right. Well, I mean, today we're not talking about that also, but we do the asking in terms of prayer. Now, we don't pray for God, we pray for ourselves. Now, God doesn't care if we pray or not. God really doesn't care what we do with our lives. God put us here to get things done, and whatever we do is all for us. So when we pray, it's not for God purposes. So there are people who haven't prayed. God probably is no longer happy with me. God doesn't care. Get over that. The prayer is for you. So we ask through prayer. So now, when we're doing manifestation work, we say you must know what you want. You must have a clear understanding of what you want, but you must go as general as possible in terms of what is it that you want. So let's say, for instance, you want a better job. So you must say, I want management position now. But you shouldn't go and now tell God that it must come on a Tuesday, it must come wherever and wherever and wherever. Because sometimes the job that you want is in America, and then there you are saying, I want it to be in Joburg. But God is like, oh no, I want you to have the job in America somewhere. And the job you want is not even the one you visualizing, because normally we visualize small things and God gives us way bigger stuff. Normally we just like, oh God, at least, we all go to God with that at least vibes. But just because we do not know what God has planned for us, we just got a glimpse of what God wants to give us, then we want to control how this thing must happen. Oh, me in America, I have never, nobody in my family has ever put foot there. I can't. So if God will say to you, you're going to have a job in America, of course you are going to collapse and die. I mean, there are people who have won the lotto and they have collapsed and died. So you want to ask and say, God, I need a new level. and in terms of work, but then do not control how this thing comes to you. Do not control where must it be. So if God now wants to move you to America, be flexible, be movable. If God now says, okay, quit here, I need you to start this, stop this, I need you to stop this. Now be movable. Do not be controlling how this thing is supposed to happen, because we think very, very small. God thinks way bigger than what we think. Sometimes God will be like, you know what? I have a glass, or I have water for you, and you thinking when a glass, and God has a whole entire 25 liters. But when you just thought water comes in a glass. So don't do that. Do not do that to yourself. Do not control that. Oh no, God, it must be a 500 milliliters of what? No, God has a whole 50 liters. So move. Well, God says go the side, move, because now you've asked. Okay. How many times do you ask? So, like I said, the asking happens in terms of your prayers. You are going to ask in prayer, but how many times you ask depends on how your brain is receiving the fact that you are ready for this thing. So, what happens is that every time you pray, every time you talk about this thing, everything you ask God about these things, you start little by little to start to believe that you are worthy of it. So, one time there's a pastor in a church that I go to. He said that if you were born in Mamelodi and all you have seen in your life is Mamelodi, you know Mamelodi life, you know how things are done in Mamelodi, but then one day you get to go to New York. New York and Mamelodi is two different things. Now, when you get to New York, you're going to look for Mamelodi references. And the problem is that you're not going to find Mamelodi references. So then, no matter what happens, that you feel out of place. Like you like, I can't wait to get back home. So, okay, maybe New York is a little bit more like Mamelodi. I mean, I'm here as a teen. So let's take Mamelodi and maybe England. England is rainy. England is cold. England is like totally different from Mamelodi. That I know for sure. Those two are definitely not the same thing. So when you take a person from Mamelodi and you put them, that they're gonna feel uncomfortable because this is not something they used to. But if you take this person, they visit England for 2 days and then they come back, and then they visit again for 5 days and then they come back, and then they stay there for 3 months, and then so by the time now you say, oh, move full time to England, they're like, oh no, England is not so bad. So when we ask, we need to talk about these things that we want a lot. And this is in prayer when we talk to God, because normally when the thing is too small and it's a little bit, when it's too small and it's in your heart, it's a little bit scary. Like you also just don't want to say to people, by the way, me, I want that. Like people will be like, oh, you crazy, you stay in Mamelodi and you want to go to England, what's wrong with you? So, I mean, I remember when I was writing my book, I was like, nobody's gonna take this serious. Who can believe me? And if you told me now, I was writing a book that is gonna go to be read by people in Joburg and Pretoria, and then if you told me that this book was gonna go international and be read by people and people will order it from all over, I was like, you see now, God. Now I just asked for 500 milliliters. I don't know the 50 liters, what I'm gonna do with it. Like I can't even recognize 50 liters. Like I just know Pretoria and Joburg. So that's why you have to allow God to make the thing happen when you ask for it. So you continually start to talk to God about it every time. So there are so many people who say, when they come to sessions, they like, oh, when I ask how often do you pray, they're like, oh, we say I pray sometimes when I'm running, sometimes when I'm taking a shower, sometimes when I'm cooking. I'm like, seriously? That's how you pray? Like, wow. When you pray, you're supposed to have a board meeting. I have done a video. You can check it on my YouTube, how to pray and how to pass. You must have a board meeting. Now, every time you get a chance to pray, And if you could do it twice a day, do it at sunset and sunrise. If you can't do it with a candle, do it with water, do it with all the 5 elements that God gave us. Now, every time you get a chance to pray, it is a board meeting with God, your angels, your guides, your ancestors, and everybody else. It's a board meeting. You literally are there to say, hey, by the way, status on this is this. The new project is this one. This one has not come back to me. This one needs to come back to me. This hasn't happened. You need. So I don't understand how you're going to have a board meeting when you're having a shower. Like, who? I mean, all of us probably have been in a board meeting. You cannot have a board meeting. I mean, lately, Zoom can do amazing things. But you cannot be in a serious meeting while you're taking a shower. You cannot be in a serious meeting while you're going for a run. You need to sit down and call everybody that needs to be in the meeting and do a status meeting. Every morning, you're supposed to say, today, this and this I need to happen. Today, I'm going to call Johan, and Johan must say yes to 1, 2, 3. Today, I'm going to call that company must say yes. Today, I'm going to do this, and that person must say yes. That is what you do in prayer. I don't know what you guys do in prayer, but that is supposed to be the process of you going to prayer for a board meeting. Now, the more you talk about, so all of us have probably had a company or have worked in a company. Every day when there's a project that has not been done, we keep asking for status. The boss or the leader of that keeps asking, what's the status on this? So a project does not start and nobody just ever talks about it and then one day it has happened. No, every time we meet, we say, last meeting we had 3 issues. Last meeting we had 5 issues. Issue 1 is still pending. This and this still needs to happen. Issue 2, that's what you do in prayer. So you guys who do prayers while you're doing other things, I don't understand what you're trying to do. Or if it works, it's fine, then it works. But what I've seen is that when you get prayer time, use it effectively to create your life, because God gave you the desire, but you have to make your own way prosperous. So if you're not making your own way prosperous, then the problem is that God cannot make it for you. God only tells you that now you are ready for this, now you're ready for this, now you're ready for this. And God says, come out of there, enter here, come out of there, enter here, come out of there, enter here. You're supposed to jump fast and move quickly. The problem is that you don't do what God says you do, you lose out. You get, you are left hanging. Because you are slow. Not that God is going to give up on you, but if you're slow, you're slow. Then whenever you get to catch up, I mean, God doesn't care, you're going to come back here so many times. So if you go out now, like, without nothing, God's like, no, don't worry, my child. This round was a bad round. I mean, when I play golf, there's like holes where you just like do a lot of wrong stuff, and then you always be like, maybe the next one is gonna be better. So of course, God is like, child, you are messing it up this time. Don't worry, you're gonna come back again. You're gonna do it right. So there's no rush. But I mean, do you wanna come back and do the same thing every time? Probably not. And the reason why your guys are pushing you is because they know what you're supposed to be getting done. And if you are slow, you are actually exhausting your resources in there. Like, everybody wants to help you, there you're sitting just being useless. So guys, when you get prayer time, use that time. It is a board meeting. Think of it that way. I mean, that is the simplest thing I can say that in real life. You can reference because you've been in board meetings, you've been in status meetings. Sometimes your status meeting takes 3 minutes because is this done? No, it's not done. Go do it. So you're gonna go like, hey, my angels, Pella, I haven't received a call from wherever. Make that call happen. And then you leave, you finish your prayer, you go take the phone call and you call the way you're supposed to be calling. Because now, social in status meeting, this thing must move. So you guys, we have angels. One angel, all of us, we came with one specifically that doesn't go to the bathroom, that is looking at us at all times and is saying, what do you need now? Yes, ma'am, I'm here. Yes, ma'am, I'm here. And if you don't use that angel, guess what? The angel is always sitting there, cannot do anything because you're not telling it what to do. And then you're blaming God for not doing stuff for you. But you're not using your resources. Guys, physical life is 5%. Spiritual life is 95%. And most of the times, God will ask you for things that you don't think you can be able to do, that are just too hard for you to do, that you just don't see the road to. Like, if I do this, like, I'm finished. God, I'm just like, I don't even know how I'm going to. And then guess what? If you do take the step, God knows what's that side. If you do take the step towards that water, and then God gives you a whole 50 liters, you're like, I know, what did happen? We're just like, I don't understand. So get yourself in the habit of going to God every day and having a status meeting with all your team. If you don't know who your guides are, you have a big problem. Make sure you find that out. So, like I said, I have got the course aligning to you. You're gonna learn there how to find your guides. You're gonna learn there about your soul family. You're gonna learn there about how to talk to your guides, how to give them the tasks, because they are waiting. Literally, they are sitting and waiting for you to give them the task, because they cannot move if you're not moving. Hence, even sometimes people come to me and we do a lot of work, and then when they have to go and do their parts, now they're scared. Now they're not doing their part, and then it takes long for them to get stuff, but then they were not doing their part. That's why all of us need energy healing and all this river cleansing, because there is a lot, of course, that we just like carry, and then it's heavy on us, and then it stops us from moving. So that's why we have to be cleansing and making sure we are cleansing all this bad energy, so that we can be able to move. Because the unfortunate part is that your guys will not move until you move. You are the one with the body. Remember, body is the expensive thing. Once you have the body, you are the one who needs to lead the way. They come through and make sure things happen that you say must happen. So if you don't know who your guys are, you have a big problem. If you don't understand them, you have a bigger problem, which is something that I'm going to talk about during this week. Again, like, how do you understand them? How do you know them? How do you know which spirits you're functioning within, so that you can like know how to make things happen quick and connect easily. So asking is not something that you do once. It's something that you do daily. It's something that you keep on the status record. You have to be asking your guides, what is happening here? What is happening here? I don't understand this. I need a dream. I ask for, I'm like, give me 20 signs. I need them all today. And normally I get 2 of them. I mean, I'm human, right? I normally get 2 of them, but I know because I've asked. And of course, most of it is going to be dreams, but also it's just like talking to a person, and a billboard. I mean, today I had a very, very funny one. So there has been a thought that I've been thinking about it, but it's just sort of like scary one. Like, I just don't want to go there. So I literally have been seeing numbers that are telling me about this information, and I'm like, I'm not, I'm not ready. I'm not. So this morning when I was just taking the plane, when I was getting on the plane, there were just like a list of people for this company that owns this, the new airline there, and that list, I mean, it's the list that I wouldn't have noticed otherwise, but then the list was just in my face, and then the queue stopped there, right there where I needed to, and then I had the whole entire probably 5 minutes when we were boarding to read this list, and I was like, oh no, there is a message again. I really, really don't know. But of course, I had just to sit there and be like, okay, and that's it. Then I got it. I mean, I'm not ready to work with it now, but I got it. I'm clear about the fact that, thank you, I got it. So, but I'm saying, I ask. If I don't understand a dream, I ask. I go to state administration, I'm saying, by the way, the dream that said this and this and this, I have no idea what it means. Please send another way of explaining this to me so that I understand why. And every time when I do that, then I will get the message. And then later on, I will know, oh, actually, this message was explaining that dream. So, but you cannot miss your status meeting. You cannot miss your boardroom meeting. You cannot. You have to ask every day in that boardroom meeting until this thing happens. You do not stop until it happens. I don't care how long. If it has to take you 5 years, ask. Ask, because the reason why you want it is because God said yes. But then if you are not in the right going, you are not sacred, you are doing funny things, you are missing it out. I mean, I've always said this. If your energy is wrong, you are with the wrong people, you're doing things you shouldn't be doing, you are messing up with your energy. How are you going to manifest stuff? How are you going to get instructions? How are you going to be able to move quickly? Because some people have all the instructions. You have no idea how many people come for a session and they have all the instructions. And there is me, just keep confirming to them. Oh yeah, but even that is a confirmation. Oh wow, even that is, oh really? Why ufuna? So because you know everything. Oh no, but I can't do it. Action. Oh wow, so you can't do it. It's because then bese bangibuka kahle ngathi mina ngithengi bamoshela ubumnandi. But guys, you cannot make it in this life if you don't take care of your energy. And sometimes God will take out of things that you don't want to be taken out of. But because the energy is low there and God is like, I cannot work with you when you're in that low energy, you will have to come out. So get used to coming out of stuff. Don't be scared of coming out of stuff. Don't be scared of moving on, because even if you stay, you lose out more. If you move on, maybe those things can catch up with you. Or guess what? God makes better plans for you. So if you really, really, really trust your guides and you understand them, you will know that they will never say come out of things that you think are amazing and then they don't come out to be correct. So let me just check a few of the questions and then we'll continue. And then on okay, so let me read this question. Hey Blanca, his wife and their life. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today. I'm asking and didn't think it was too much. Definitely keep asking. It's an everyday. It's an everyday. I mean, twice a day is perfect. A board meeting, prayer is serious. It's very, very serious. And other people just don't mind to not pray. I don't know how you guys function, but then maybe you have better things to do with your life. Okay, so somebody else is asking what could hinder one's prayer. Okay, so what could hinder one's prayer is your energy. You have to be vibrating at a good energy. So let's just say you are angry. Your prayer is not going nowhere. You are envy of somebody, you are jealous of somebody, you with crazy humans that are in your vibration. You know, you hate your life, you hate how you live your life. Of course. I mean, of course, who you're sleeping with and all these kind of things, they all affect your energy. So all those things that have to do with how you centering yourself counts. Even what you eat counts. Of course, what you put in your body, you know, counts. So the other day, I was having I was in another meeting, and these guys were saying to me, Marabusi, I know a lot of sangomas that they drink and then they like go on and they like connect with their guides and all that. And you know, like, what do you mean drinking can cause us to have a blockage? I'm like, okay, fine, guys. It's true. All of us have guys that had the drinking thing, and then the ones that didn't have it. So of course, once you drunk, you're gonna connect with the ones that love drinking. Now, I promise you, you're gonna definitely connect, and you're gonna really do amazing things. But you're gonna be doing it with three drunk people, so you have to take everything they say with salt. Because I have seen somebody cry and say, I can't believe my guys told me to do this and I did it, and then it finished my life. It was the biggest mistake of my life. And I know they had said it to me, and I'm like, which ones talk to you? And they'd never noticed this. But every time when they drank, they would have their guys talk to them. But the drunk ones are going to do, hi, who is it? Oh, okay, you can come in. Oh, housekeeping. Oh, you can come back later. No, it's fine. Okay, sis. Oh, no problem. Thanks. So then they were like, oh my God, I didn't know. Now you've just answered my prayer, answered my question, because I talked to them. They told me to do this, but it was the wrong thing that messed up my life. I was like, be careful who you're talking to. Drunk people you cannot trust. So I prefer to be sober. Seriously, when I'm doing stuff that has to do with spirituality, I just prefer to be sober because I do not want to make that mistake in my life. Okay, so that's story for another day. Let's look for more questions here. There's more questions on Instagram. Namisile says the analogy of status meeting is powerful and so relatable. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Namisile, for joining us. Oh, guys, today I can scroll nice. I don't know what I did. Maybe it's because I don't have nails. Guys, I cut my nails because of golf, and I was just trying to see if I can hit the ball better with shorter nails. It's the same thing. I'm getting back to my long nails. You know what? Life is short to have short nails. Trudy says, thank you, Busi. You just confirmed what God revealed to me this morning. Oh, thank you so much, Trudy, for joining us. I'm looking for more questions here. Okay, now I'm doing stuff. As I was giving myself a pat on the back for doing well or scrolling. Okay, let me scroll more. I saw a few more questions on the Instagram. Okay, so my prayer says, how do one deal with fear? I feel like it poses a lot of things in one's life. Yes, true. So fear, the other day, we had a goddess event, end of the month, 31st October. And one of the things we were talking about was spiritual attacks. And fear is a spiritual attack. So fear, things like wanting to commit suicide, doubt, addictions, and all these things, those are spiritual attacks. Like, there's no need for you to be addicted to anything like sex and alcohol and all those things. Those things are an attack on your life. Fear, doubt, and a whole lot of stuff. Spiritual attacks. Now, there is a difference, a big one, between a spiritual attack and a life challenge. Life challenges bring your life up. So life challenges will be things like confidence, low self-esteem. You can work on that thing. You can go and do personal development and come out of those things. But fear and those other things that are under spiritual attack, and really, I will say to you, go and get Sihle to give you the recording for that session, because it will help you a lot to understand fear better. Because fear, a lot of people try to deal with fear in the physical plane. Fear is a spiritual attack. You cannot deal with food addiction in the physical plane. You can try all the diets you want. Those kind of things, they are spiritual attack. You have a sex addiction. It is not a physical. You cannot stop yourself. You cannot just be like, oh no, I'm gonna, who saw this? No, you can't. Well, I've never had a sexual addiction. I mean, thank goodness. But I know that those things are not physical. You cannot fight them. So fear is one of the things you cannot just fight them, because they are just way too much. But they are not in the 3D. They are a spiritual problem. So life challenges are good. You should never run from them. Life challenges, they are there to help you level up. They are there to help you enter into another level. So just like I was saying, self-confidence and self-esteem and all those things, you can level up from those things. You can learn to be better in those things. And they are good. When you have them and you fix them, you grow. But spiritual attacks, just like fear and those kind of things, you can read all the books in the world, you will still have the fear. So those are the things that you have to deal with them in a spiritual way. So that is why then we'll go to do things like the river, do things like prayers and cleansings and all this and all this and all this. Because some of the things are spiritual attacks, and you do not have you can't fix them in the physical. You have to go and fix them in the spiritual. So a lot of times when a person is spiritually attacked, they will have those things, and those things will stop you on your feet. So like fear, you will not move if you have fear. Even if God has shown you all the dreams and talked to you in all the languages and what, you will still be stuck if you've got the fear. So that's why we have to go and do cleansings and all this kind of stuff. Then things like these addictions will keep you stuck in. I mean, there is one guy that came and he had porn addiction and he couldn't even do his job. I mean, like, what? Well, I mean, I've never been there, but like, it sounded like horribly rock. Everything in his life was wrong just because of porn addiction. And it was a spiritual attack. And we had to do a whole lot of cleansing. Today, he doesn't even care. Like, porn, what? What's that? But those are the things that stops you. So we have to understand the difference between life challenges. Never run from a life challenge. Never run from that. That is a level up moment. But a spiritual attack, you need to fix that in the spiritual realm. So please make sure I'll put the number, my PA's number, or DM me on Instagram. Get her to send you the recording that we did on the 31st of October. Spiritual protection and spiritual attacks. You need to understand that. You need to. And also, we open doors. We open doors for ourselves to these things, and then they start happening. So you also need to understand how you close that door, how you close that spiritual door, so that you don't open it, so that these things like fear and all this crappy stuff do not affect your life. Because really, if you have fear and you have all crappy things, you can't go anywhere. No matter how hard you work, you're just gonna be stuck. Okay, my priest. So that was my priest question. Mushomi says, I stopped eating meat and I dreamed of eating meat and my stomach was feeling funny. And I threw up. And when I woke up, my stomach was upset. I feel like throwing up, but I don't know how to vomit. So that is a good thing that you remembered even when you woke up, and of course you still felt the feeling. So what you want to do, just take salt water and purge. Like, you can do it 3 times, 3 different days, and purge and purge and purge and purge. But then when you purge, light a white candle and ask that whatever that you have eaten in that dream must not stay in your body, must come out. So sometimes when you have the salt water, so it's a detox. So you will purge, but then also you will start to maybe like have a little bit of a running tummy. So whatever thing will come out of your body, so it will leave your system. Because again, those are spiritual attack stuff. You keep them to yourself, then, and dreaming of eating meat is just not okay at all. Okay, so somebody said, Pearl says, you are God sent. You are talking to me. Thank you, Pearl. Thank you for joining us. Oh, guys, I hope I didn't miss any questions here on Instagram. Oh, no, Msa says, I have found myself yearning for meditation so much. Yes, so that is literally your guides telling you, girl, center, ground. Now, grounding is a long topic that, guys, I need to just like come back and talk a little bit more about. Grounding is so critical for so much, but the best ways, because I'm not going to talk about grounding now, the best ways to ground is to come. So meditation is one of the most important things. Going into nature, having reflective moments, like sitting down and say, what is currently right in my life now? What is currently wrong in my life? What do I need to forgive myself from? What do I need to move on from? What scares me? What makes me happy? What needs to change in my life? What am I doing wrong with my life? What am I doing correct with my life? Those moments is when God starts to speak to you. Because when you say, what is wrong in my life? I'm like, gee, wow, even that is wrong. Definitely that is wrong. What is right? Oh no, I'm doing well here, I'm doing well here, I'm doing well. Because you will notice mistakes you've made, and then you will go and fix them. And when you fix them, guess what? Life becomes better. So thank you, Namsa, for that. I hope I've answered all the Instagram questions. Let me look at this side. Cynthia says, my gin drinking. I'm divorcing her. You know what? Not that you should stop drinking at all, but just like drink once in like 2 weeks. Like one glass. I mean, just be decent about it. Of course, when you're drinking to drown your sorrows, you know something is wrong. So if you're drinking that one, I mean, I drink a champagne glass whenever there's a party somewhere in another person's house, and then by the time I'm leaving that house, it's no longer even in my system, so it's fine. But if you're gonna be like drinking like a cow, you have no idea, guys. Pony says, are silent prayers effective? So I normally do not make noise when I pray. So even I used to oh my goodness, my battery here. I used to worry about myself because when I was going through my initiation process, I mean, my mentor was loud and like, hey, all dramatic. So when I started to do the work, especially for other people, I was just like too quiet. Like when I'm working, it must be quiet, 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 quiet. Like it must be like almost dead quiet. So when I'm praying, it must be quiet. When I'm doing work with people at the river, it must be quiet. And hence my working hours is at 4 a.m. because it's very quiet. I stay next to a river, and the only thing you can hear is the river. And it must be really quiet. So the quiet thing is, I believe it's a me thing. Other people, like they scream like you can hear them 2 streets away. Me, I'm totally quiet. So me, you'll just see my facial expression that I'm doing prayers, and you'll see candles lit and all that. But like, I probably never open my mouth. It happens like whenever it happens that I open my mouth. But that's just like me. Like I need quietness. Like when I'm working and somebody is talking, like my guys get like all jumping. So I'm quiet. So I wouldn't say silent prayers are effective. You need to. So when you praying, you need to set up the environment. Have your elements, set up the environment, and what you do there, then it comes to you. So don't scream because people scream. Don't be quiet because people are quiet. So, like I'm saying, my mentors, most of them are loud, and I just look at them and be like, "What drama is this? Why are you being so dramatic?" But it's just because now I just can't. I remember one day, I was doing work for a family, and so when I'm doing work, especially for families, when a family has called me to do work, I normally want them to have somebody in their family who spiritually being put there for the family to look after their spiritual affairs. So then that person can confirm to them that I'm the right person. I'm supposed to be doing this work. So that because they pay me a lot of money. So I don't want to take their money just, and not give them like 100% because, So they went and they called somebody. He's also a healer. And he was like, okay, here he is. So we're going to do this work. He is here to hold the space and make sure that everything's done according to what its family needs. Because every family has to do things according how those family in that home needs things to be done. So I had gotten exactly what needs to be done, but it was just like too simple, and I was going to be quiet. And then at that moment in the day, I was judging myself. I was like, oh, these people are going to be like, oh my goodness, this one just came to just chill here, like because when I'm working, literally, there is not much that happening. So then I started the work, and it was just like, oh, I was like, oh Lord, whatever. And then while I was working, the guy was like, oh hell no, this is too much. He was literally, oh my God, I've never seen such a thing. Oh my goodness, how do you do that? I mean, and then he started to explain to them what was happening in the spiritual realm because they couldn't see it. Of course, he was seeing it. He was like, oh my goodness, who are you? Where did you get this woman? Like, and then I mean, that time I had I had like the longest blonde hair. I had my makeup because I was going somewhere after that. I had my eyelashes. Just like these people are just gonna be like, oh my God, what is this slay queen girl doing here? Just like he was like, and he had judged me. Like he looked at me once, he was like, and then once the work started, he was like, oh no, I also need some of these and so I'm saying as go silent. If you feel like doing silent stuff, don't try to do stuff that is not you. You will know who you are, and how it works. But the only thing is that have your moment of saying, now I'm in a meeting with God and I'm going to talk about these things. These are my points. This is what we need to deal with. So if you're screaming doing it, hey, scream. If you're quiet about it, be quiet. You don't have to worry about that part. Okay, so Stay says, how do we close spiritual leaks? Stay, get that recording. You're gonna make me talk too much. Murendi, hi waves. Murendi says, Good vibes. Yes, girl. Cape Town. You know, guys, okay, Cape Town. Cape Town is amazing. But Camps Bay is where Jesus lives. Guys, like the views of Camps Bay, every angle. You get 360 view. Like what? Jehovah. You guys who live in Cape Town, Mara, why not stay? What's in right? Matiliso says, talk about meditation. Why do I fall into deep sleep when I meditate? Okay, so Matiliso, if you're falling asleep while you're meditating, it means two things. Okay, let's just say one thing. You are exhausted. So, meditation is a process where we stop the mental mind and we go into the 4D. Now, when we sleep at night, we leave the 3D. Our bodies are in that bed, but we go somewhere. We go to the 4D. And when we're there, hence when you're sleeping, you will dream doing things. You will dream walking somewhere. You will dream talking to people. You will dream eating. You are not in your body. You are, well, your spirit is everywhere, but you are not functioning in the 3D dimension. You are not functioning in the physical world. You are functioning in the 4D. So hence you could do too many things and you see everything and understand stuff that you couldn't understand when because your mind is not working, only your subconscious mind is working. So when you meditate and are falling asleep, it's just because your brain is exhausted and it's like, oh my God, finally I get to rest a little bit because now you finally stopped this chatter in your mind because now you are in that state of calmness. So what we need to do is that when we meditate, we need to go to the 4D, but then you start small, get there. So when you're used to it, you get to the 4D quickly, and when you're in the 4D, and when you're in the 4D, it's even easy to ask and get the things that you're asking for to happen quicker because you are asking from the other dimension. So, but don't worry about getting to the 4D and stuff. Now, if you could ask in dreams, that would be better. So hence, when you see yourself asking for stuff in dreams, they happen quicker than when you're praying in the 3D. But you can get into the 4D while you are awake in terms of meditation. So this afternoon, I am going to the mountain because one of the things that I'm going there for is that I am able to get into the 4D. And it's a long story again. As I said, you need to know your guides and how they work and da. So, but meditation and falling asleep is because you are finally stopping the thoughts and your body's up. Thank goodness. So what is happening, Matsidi, is that you are overthinking everything. You are using your mind way more than you should be using it. So you are not allowing your spirit to function. You are using more of the physical stuff, and the physical is not able to handle everything. So yeah. Tenji Lisa says, when I ask the questions during meditation, I just cry. Aha! Very, very important. Now, crying is a very important thing, a very good thing because it's cleansing. So now, remember, when you ask something, God is always saying, I need to remove something for me to put that thing that you're asking for. So when you're crying, you are releasing. It is good. It is very, very good, babes. Cry some more. So you notice that most of the time when I take people to the river, they then start crying. When I have sessions with people, they start crying. They're like, I don't know why I'm so emotional. It's a release. It's a good thing. Let it happen some more. Okay, Dumi says quiet as in speaking in the heart. Yeah, like Dumi, I probably speak in the heart. I never thought of it that way. Yeah, but like, of course, I'm definitely doing a lot, but my mouth is not saying words out loud. Okay, it does, but like very, very soft. Marage, I mean, really don't worry about that stuff. As long as you're getting the work done, don't worry if you're. I mean, I just think making noise is not amazing. I don't know, think people shouldn't make noise. Dumi says, okay, you've answered me. Okay, you got it. Okay. Okay, I don't see any questions there on Instagram. Hey Bong, hey Happy. So, last thing I want us to talk about. What time is it? Okay, it's 4. Babala said we are gonna have enough time to not have load shedding until she said it's 6. What City still says true. I'm such an overthinker. Thank you. Yeah. So babes, how you stop overthinking is that you ask God and you let God do the stuff that needs to be done, but you listen and do. If you will do more, you will think less, you will notice. But if you're doing, you'll get way faster with your journey. So thinking does not help anybody, doing helps. So ground yourself more, even like just grounding yourself, like I explained earlier. And then you will notice that you wouldn't think a lot, but then you'll find yourself doing more. But then again, when you're finding yourself procrastinating, and those that like procrastination is part of a spiritual attack that you procrastination is something that you can't really control. Like, I don't know if you have ever been able to control procrastination, you're an amazing person. Because procrastination is not something we can deal with in the physical realm again. Hence, it's a biggest problem for almost everybody. So that is not a challenge, it's a bigger problem. Okay, so do this. Write down what the important points. So if it's an income goal, if it's a relationship goal, if it's a work goal, write them down. I write my stuff down and I have them in my prayer place. Like there's always a note just in case I'm in a bad mood and I forgot what I need to talk about in the status meeting. So when I get to my prayer place, this thing is up there. The points are written there. So there's a money point, there's a what point, there's a what. And normally I notice that 3 months later, most of those things will be ticked off, and then I'll remove that paper and I'll write another one. So when you go to your prayer place, if you are blessed enough to have an altar that is standing, have that altar stand. It means it's always there set up. But if you have to move around stuff and things, always have, Stay says agenda for the meeting. Thank you so much. Always have your list there. Me, I always have my list just in case I'm in a hurry and I need to say yes, quickly, and I need to update quickly. So, well, of course, because of the work that I do, I need to explain a lot to my guys about what am I doing. Now I'm going to Cape Town. Now I'm in Cape Town. Of course, that is extra, but my goals are always there to say, this is going this way. This is going this way. Currently, let's say you put Mjolo goal. Currently, I still don't have Mjolo. You guys are so funny. But anyway, if it's that important to you, you write it down there and be like, currently still, of course, the thing is that once you put up that point, then you guys are going to start to give you small tasks that you need to fix around those issues. So you put there something and then they start to tell you what you need to do about. Maybe you put there, I still don't have the right part, and they like, go and dump all the crappy people in your life. No, you don't dump them. Then you have a problem because you're going to have an item that's going to sit there for 5 years because you are not moving. So just be warned that when you put an item there and you currently you're going to daily do a status meeting on it, you must be ready to do the task you are given for that assignment. Guys, I tell you, nothing is going to fall from heaven. Everything that you're asking for is going to build you up. So there's going to be things you have to change in your life to get that thing. Even if you want a summer body, your guys will tell you, go and walk 10,000 steps daily. Now, if you're not ready to walk 10,000 steps daily, you're going to have that item in there, sitting there. But they will keep telling you, have you walked the 10,000 steps yet? Have you walked the 10,000? No, you haven't done it. You haven't done. So you want a happy, amazing life. They will tell you, remove this, remove this, remove this. So once you put it up, make sure you're taking the guidance on how this thing needs to work. Nothing is going to be a miracle. You will have to grow up. People do not want to grow up. I do not know why people don't want to grow up. People refuse to grow up. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in. It is 4 o'clock. It's been an hour of me talking. Please make sure that you get that course. Align into you. Ask Sihle to get that course and start to talk a little bit more to your angels. Your angels needs you to give them work to do. You need to talk to them. You need to understand them. And then the most important thing, get the recording we were doing on the 31st, which is the one on spiritual attacks and spiritual protection. It will help you a lot. It will really help you a lot if you get that one. So I'm gonna put the phone number for WhatsApp for 2215867. So please ask for the recording. I'm gonna put it also here on Instagram 061. Okay, so you send a WhatsApp there, ask for the recording, or you DM me on Instagram. Don't DM on Facebook and things. They get lost, these DMs. So bad Instagram DMs I always get. Mapasaka says, how much is the course? I think the course is like 400 rand. Yeah, so it's like 400 rand. The aligning to your course. It's quite affordable. Okay, guys. So thank you so much. At the end of the month, we're having a retreat, the Healers Retreat. You want to come through to that? Make sure you get the information from Zitla. It's amazing. It's lit. If you know that God has called you to be a healer, to help other people, to make a way for other people, to stand in the gap for other people, to be of help and guide to other people, do not act like you don't know. No, I'm not judging you guys. Now I did that thing of acting like that. Well, I mean, I didn't know for a long time. And a whole lot of people apparently knew they never told me. But then, it happens. So one day it happens that you finally figure it out. The day has happened. Come through to the Healers Retreat. We're starting on the 24th, 25th, and 26th. We are going to be in the Drakensberg. We're going to be doing it in the mountain in Drakensberg. And make sure that you ask Sihle for the recording that we did on explaining what you're going to be doing at the retreat. But we've already started the preparation work. So if you want to join us, make sure you join us now. This week we are doing a module on money. It's lit. We are hectic. But again, the Lord is good all the time. So thank you guys. Have a lovely evening. I'm gonna do another live tomorrow. This week I'm gonna Cape Town with the information that I'm supposed to have given you guys for a long time. So I'm gonna do more of these. Make sure you subscribe if you're on YouTube so that you can see, because I don't know what time I'm gonna do this, depending on when they do their load shedding stuff. So I'm gonna just do it, even if it's in the morning or in the afternoon. I'm gonna do more. There's so many topics that I need to cover, like stuff that I've been saying also here. So make sure you subscribe, make sure you like and share, and yeah, all this amazing stuff. Have a lovely evening. Bye bye.